Welcome back to Bridal University. This is Ebony.
And I'm Zoe. I don't even know what episode this is. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. We've been on a little break with everything. Like, we both had birthdays. We both had, like, big life
Things. Yeah. We got things to talk about.
So, got some things to talk about.
Yeah, we've been thinking a lot about what we want this podcast to be and the impact we want it to have. And we've been having discussions, with different people, getting their feedback. And we think it might be best if we move our episodes to every 2 weeks so we can give you guys more info, so we feel more inspired to do it, and so we can hear more from our listeners and prepare for each episode so we have more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. So we'll be changing up the schedule.
So instead of seeing us next week, you'll see us in 2 weeks. So hope you guys won't miss us too much, but it allows us to have a little bit more fun doing the podcast since we are both stylists aside from this. So we do need some time to focus on our brides and the business that we work for. So
yeah, and to give you some time to catch up on some episodes, hopefully. So
yes, that too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about some of the big things that have happened this past month. I think one of us might have something a little more exciting than the other.
Maybe. You want to go ahead and tell them? I'm just kidding. So I know we were leaving off and we had a huge surprise that we were telling you all about. So I got married.
We left them on a huge cliffhanger, didn't
we? Literally, like, and then they just never came back. But yeah, I got married and it was amazing and it was the best day ever. And Zoe here was a part of it because she was my photographer. Yep. So it was very intimate, very beautiful, romantic.
We were on a different kind of bridal journey than this podcast this past month. You know, we got to experience a real wedding. One of us actually getting married, and one of us just participating in the event. So it was really fun.
Like someone who offered a service. So that's nice because I can speak from a bride and you can speak from like being a photographer. So that's kind of cool. So.
Yeah. So we'll tell you a little bit about our perspectives on that, and then we can tell you maybe some fun bride stories that we've had, some accomplishments that we've had. So
just kind of like catching up.
Yeah. Let's discuss the big day. I want to hear all your emotions, all the excitement, the nervousness. What did you feel?
Yeah, so I was very nervous because the forecast called for like 70% rain, and me and Zoe were like going back and forth like the night before and even that morning because I didn't really have a plan B, honestly. I just knew that this is the spot that I wanted to get married. The location was beautiful, and it kind of went along with like the vision that I saw for the day. So we were all like everyone was just going back and forth, like everyone who was going to be there, like, what are we going to do? What's your plan? And I was like, we're going to wing it. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to happen. And as I was walking up the path, like my daughter went down first and she was the flower girl. And it was like cloudy still and we were kind of still like, But as soon as I like stepped on the path and like, it was a long path to walk. The sun like broke out and it was like a beautiful day. Mm-hmm. And that was like the highlight of the day because that was like really special to me. Because my mom has passed away. And I think like in that moment, I just felt so like looking up in the sky and like seeing, just like reminding me of her. So that was amazing for me. So it was just a great day, like emotional, just filled with love. And the people that we had there surrounding us was great.
Yeah. I will say I was a little bit excited for a little bit of cloud coverage because what a lot of people don't realize in photography is you don't want a lot of sun because those bright lights create really harsh shadows. Although it was a beautiful ceremony when I like stopped looking and, through the camera lens, I was like, oh my God, it's so pretty. It's so nice out. But like for most of the ceremony, we just had this harsh sunlight on her. Like the sun was out. It was beautiful. Like you said, like you walked down this path and immediately as you turned the corner, the sun just came shining. And it was so pretty, but I was kind of happy after that we got some much better photos, like under the trees, away from the sun. But
a lot of the pictures, my daughter, she's like trying to like get the sun out of her eyes.
You gotta tell them the story about when she was crying.
So at the end, like after we like say our vows and like you make like kiss the bride and like we're all like we turn to look at everyone, like everyone's looking at my daughter and she's like next to me and I look down like, are you crying? And she's like, yeah, weddings are just so emotional, you know. Like it was so cute because she's 7 and it's like, what do you know about weddings being emotional? But she could, I think like her little body of being 7 could feel all the love and the emotions and how just like pure the love was. So that was just like icing on the cake and just seeing her having her own little moment. And we also gave her a ring, presented her with the ring. So she just felt so incorporated and included. So that was cute. It was really fun. Cute.
She did like one of those like kid wipe away tears like, too, or like the whole hand. Like
it was so dramatic. I wouldn't have it any other way.
She's so funny. She's a good little model too. She was like posing. She was doing it.
She was holding my bouquet. Mm-hmm. She was great.
Covered in glitter. She was like a princess fairy.
Oh yeah, the more glitter the better. But no, it was definitely. We'll like probably be able to incorporate maybe some pictures or what we're talking about. Maybe my daughter like go incorporate it. But overall, it was. I couldn't have it. I can't picture any other way. Like that's what I wanted and I got what I wanted, so I'm happy.
I'm happy that some of those photos just turned out
amazing.
So good. Like I know that her favorite color is orange, and before I came earlier than her. I came before the bride. I was like just peeking around. If you're someone that's doing photography, whether, you know, just for fun or, you know, you're doing it in a professional setting, I feel like most people already know this, but if you don't, go early or even go like a day before if you have the time to just scope out the area for locations, because in a park like that, there was like one big statue fountain thing that so many people take pictures at. And that's like an iconic spot, so it's really easy to just go there and take pictures. But if you walk past the path a little bit into the back, there was this big tree that had like just freshly turned orange, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna drag her over here. There was mud everywhere. I was like, I'm gonna make this work because this tree was gorgeous, and we got some really like nice big full pictures with it, and I was really happy that that worked out. So, and if I hadn't wandered around beforehand, I wouldn't have known that that's where that tree was. So that's something I highly recommend. Even if you're doing like pictures with your friend or for a school project, take like an extra little walk, see what you can find. Like, being a photographer is all about being creative with what you have. If you're in like a park and there's really only like trees and, you know, some bushes and not a lot of flowers or whatever, park somebody in a bush with little flowers in it, and then just like make it seem like they're like in this big field or something. Like, it's all about how you frame the shot. It's all about where you can find those secret little locations that really make pictures stand out. Yeah.
And I think for you, like, just being there and having great energy as a photographer, like everyone that was there just kept commenting on, like, as soon as they saw me, they saw like Zoe's energy and like her running to get those shots, and it kind of just like went along with the day, and like everyone just kept commenting on like how great you were as a photographer. So like I think when people, you know, get booked for these jobs and you think you're like serving such a like small task, but it's like no, like make sure that you're like giving that energy to the group or to the groom, wherever you're doing birthday party, because like your energy matters and you make up a big part of that day, because you can just tell you wanted to be there and you were so excited. And
of course, I felt like a VIP like member being there. There were not a lot of people, so showing up, I was like, oh, this is it. Like I'm one of the few.
But no, like you definitely, because like with it being such a small ceremony, the pictures of the videos are what we have to go off of. Like that's what everyone, so for them to be able to embody like that love and like everything that was there off of those, like from those pictures, that's huge. So you did a great job. You did a great job. I wouldn't have it any other way.
You did a great job getting married. I know. No, it must have been super hard, but you did.
So hard, you know. But it was great.
It was a really good day. It was fun to be there. Like, I feel like none of you seemed nervous, really. Like, even, you know, your husband, he was just, like, hanging out before. He's like, yeah, she'll get here when she gets here. Like, make sure you play this song and blah, blah, blah. He was just, like, chill. He was ready. He was
and
all
that's
set.
what I loved about it, from, like, the big, like, these huge, like, what do you call it, like, more for, like, the entertainment purposes, or, like, these huge ceremonies that kind of, like, get away from, like, the intimacy and the love. Like, I feel like that's all we focused on, because it was just so, like, micro that we could really still focus on the love, and that's was my favorite part of it. We didn't get all carried away and, like, cared about this person, like, what are these people gonna wear, where are they gonna sit in, like, we didn't have to worry about any drama or anything like that, so it was nice.
And it was, like, literally the perfect day. And
I couldn't have,
like... You checked off, like, all the good luck boxes, too, with, like, it raining.
Yeah.
You know.
I trashed my dress on accident.
She had a trash my dress moment because of the rain. That dress was so heavy and wet by the end of the
Zoe was, like, trying to help me and, like, carry it around, and it was just wet and dirty, and, like, it was just, at the end of the day, I was just like, okay, because I wanted to wear it, like, longer, but because we went to dinner after, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it off because it was
edge
gross.
Was just gravel and dirt
and cold. Like, then it became like stiff and cold. It was not good.
I still have mud on the shoes that I wore that day.
I have not cleaned those shoes. I'm glad you just reminded me, because I need to find them and clean those shoes. They were nice shoes. But yeah.
It was, you know, muddy, but I feel like in the pictures you couldn't really tell that it was too wet, and I tried my best to, like, cover up the big puddles, but it ended up really being a beautiful day once the sun came out, and then we got some more, like, cloud coverage, just like a little bit, which was really great. And just being, like, a witness there, it was a really beautiful moment. It's really happy to see, you know, not just my coworker, but my friend get married, and it was so awesome to see, like, a family come together. And I know your daughter is, like,
obsessed. Like, she's like in, like, her own little, that night she's like, we did, like, prayers every night. She's like, thank God for giving me a great family, and I pray for other people who don't have families like this, and I hope that you give them a good family too. And I'm like,
oh my God,
stop.
She's
like,
7 and
she's 7 and she's saying this stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So when, you know, like, when you hear stuff like that, it just helps you know that, like, you made the right decision, and, like, it's just so my happily ever after. Okay. I'm like over here just.
I will tell you, as a kid, when I was part of my mom's wedding, it started, like, just like that for me too, where I was just like, oh my God, like, I was in a wedding that's, like, so crazy. This I got a ring too. My parents gave me a ring, and I was like, oh my God, like, this is so awesome. Like, and then that's when my wedding, like, interest started. That I started watching all the wedding movies, like, every what is that show? 4 Weddings. Yeah. That used to be on, like, TLC.
Yes, and you had to, like, rate. Yes.
I used to watch those shows all the time, like, all of the wedding shows, and I became obsessed because I remember being a part of that process and seeing, like, other people's weddings and what they wanted to do. And it's just, as a kid, a wedding is such a magical thing.
Like, and I can't imagine being that young and feeling those vibes. And, like, we know how, like, what to call it and what it is, but, like, it's probably so overwhelming, and it's just like, what is this? Like, everyone was just so happy, and you could just tell she was just like, I love it here. I never want to leave.
She was a great little model too, I'll tell you. She was ready to be in front of the camera. Like, she was like,
I was bouquet. Like, posing. She like had my bouquet, and she was like posing with it. It was so cute. My
favorite photo of her is her with the hands up like this, and she's smiling all big.
That picture is, like, my background on everything. Like, that every time I show my daughter, I'm like, oh, you want to see this picture? I use that picture. Like, that is so cute.
It was. I'm not going to stop saying that it was good.
It was just so magical.
Good. It was great. It was a fabulous day. And do you have any future plans?
So that ceremony was, like, very small, and just to kind of get out of the way, because we do want to do we are doing I just had a brain fart. A destination wedding.
There you go.
So before you go away and go to a different country, you do have to get married within, your county. So we just did that to get everything out the way. But yes, we are going to the Bahamas for Valentine's Day, and we're going to do it all over again. I have a different dress, and
it's a good dress.
It's a good dress. Yes, that dress is the dress. But yeah, it's so funny because now having that day, I'm like, I have to get over. It's going to be 2 separate ceremonies. So this day is not going to feel like this day. So I think that I'm trying to like understand. I'm like, that was the real day, but this is like more of I think if I would have planned it all over again, I would have only did one, because now I'm starting to not feel the need for the second.
It's almost like a honeymoon wedding part 2 moment, you know?
Maybe. And maybe I can do like some photo shoot things with the other dress. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you need a photographer?
You're like, wait a minute. So
I have a free time around Valentine's Day.
I mean, we can figure all that out, because that would be fun. And then you can that would actually be a really fun trip. Got some planning to do.
If you need a babysitter too, someone to hang out, Kalani, your daughter likes me, so.
Okay, yeah, we'll be talking after this, because you're onto something. But yeah, so that's gonna be fun, and I think like I just said, I just need to go ahead in my mind and separate the two. Like, this is a different ceremony, this is a different day, and for a different reason.
Yeah, so. It's like a honeymoon wedding all in one.
And whoever wants to come can come and like be a part of it. So, yeah.
I think that'll be fun. I think, you're gonna realize that even though it is a different day, that dress is gonna make you feel things, because I was there when she picked that out. Oh my God.
That dress is like, wait till you guys. Just stay tuned. That dress is...
She's been eyeing this dress for a while, because the catalog came and she was like, oh, this dress. Like, oh my God, I could tell that would be my dress. It comes in, she tries it on.
Instantly. And we try on a lot of dresses here. I literally had tears in my eyes. Like, we try on, I don't even know how many dresses I've like tried on just for social media. And just like we said before, we like to get a feel of it and, practice. But this dress, when I put it on, was so special. And I think I finally understood, like I was telling Zoe, I know that sometimes our brides come in and you can just tell they have this dress in their mind. Like, they can't quite describe it. Every time they put on a dress, it just doesn't resonate with them. And I was like, I finally understand what that moment, because if someone would ask me to describe a dress, I probably wouldn't have described that dress, but right when I put it on, I just knew. So I understand the moment now. I understand it.
I think I'm just screwed forever in picking a wedding dress, because from my multiple years, I've always been like a model for the dresses. So I have no clue, because I've tried on so many different dresses over the past 3 years, whether that be like prom or even, obviously wedding dresses now. But there's just like so many styles that I've just had to put on to make it look good, and now I don't know what actually like feels good. I just know what like looks good and is good for social media. So it's just like, what do I actually want?
And I think that's why that dress stood out to me so much, because I felt the same way. Because I would tell people, they're like, did you get your dress yet? And I'm like, no, that's not exciting for me, because we do this so much. And my husband had seen me in dresses because of the social media, and he follows everything. So I'm like, oh, it's not going to be special or whatever. But I do believe once you find the gown, you'll just know.
Yeah.
I'm a believer now.
It's funny.
I'm a believer.
I've also been thinking too, it's funny when like your husband or my boyfriend comes in and picks out dresses for us, and we're like, good thing you're not actually picking the dress for the real day, because why the hell are you picking this dress?
Literally, the dress that my husband would have picked for me. It's like high neck, long sleeve, like puffed. Like, I'm like, have you met me? Like, do you know who I am? Like, nice, like, what? He's like, that dress looks so good. I'm like, what? So yeah, I agree. And like when her boyfriend comes, I'm like, we like played a game with him one time. It's like, if Zoe like had to pick a dress, like what would it be? And he's like going towards something. I'm like trying to help him. I'm like, no. He did pretty good though.
He did, yeah.
He did pretty good though. He was like right on it, like on some, and then like he would just throw like a random one, and then I'm like, no, not so much.
No.
But it's fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, what should we do now? We've talked about the wedding. We've talked about each side of it. We've talked about our plans for the upcoming podcast episodes.
I think we're good.
And yeah, I think we're good. Maybe next week we could share some more bride stories. If any of you guys have bride stories or want to tell us about your experience, you will have questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can always send us a DM to our Instagram if you have a fun story to tell. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. I hope you had fun listening to our wedding chat.
Yes. I hope you had fun, and like I said, I'm sure that Zoe will, in a cool way, drop some pictures so you can, see what we're talking about.
I'm gonna cover your face and just have it
like right here, like all the pictures, just like so. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and like we said, I know it's probably gonna take some getting used to the new schedule, but I think that'll benefit all of us in the end. So
we'll be able to make better quality stuff. We have some plans, some guests that we want to bring on. So if you have any ideas of guests, or if you want to be a guest yourself and are in the wedding industry, again, send us a message on Instagram.
Yeah,
We'd love to connect. So
for sure. Bye guys.
All right, bye.